Have you heard of the new business loan strategy that can earn you 2% on all fundings or 1% if it's a different service? How about the step-by-step process that others are not sharing with you on how to get the best loan advance option out there for you? Hi, this is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm an expert business loan broker who's been doing this for some time. Happy Friday. Welcome in, guys. I'm going to keep this very light because I am still recovering from a dental implant that I had a couple days ago put in. I'm feeling a lot better. My recovery has been great. I just don't want to pump up a lot of energy and time, so I'll try to keep it limited underneath 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll open it up to any frequently asked questions or anybody have any comments, and I'll answer them as diligently as I can. Now, what is this business loan strategy, perhaps that you can get up to 5 million or 10 million and above? So I recently came out with a video on new business loans and what you guys should be careful about, because it's not always about trying to find the next thing, some new shiny object. You can go and see if you qualify for, whether you are a startup or a non-startup, you were satisfied or not satisfied with a certain service. And there's a reason why you are getting what you get, whether you know enough or not. And that's what I'm here for, to show you guys the right path. I love giving you guys the value. I care about that more than anything. It's not about a number to me. It's about the value that I can create for you. So moving away from that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the steps it takes with this strategy that is not so new, but it will be for you if you are coming to the online world or you've been underneath someone else and you're like, I don't even trust them. They're not even reliable. Their communication, they're over-promising, under-delivering. They're not even showing me the underwriting. I get email after emails, phone calls, text messages, etc. And I've been there, done that. I've been in your position. I know how hard it is. I do. I have multiple businesses. This is my primary focus now, but I have other ones, and I ventured into a few other ones recently. And going to apply when you don't have the right revenue, the right collateral, the right credit, I know how much of a burden that can be. Now, if you have all that to begin with, great, but we all have to start somewhere and grow. And so before I get into this step-by-step strategy that I more or less talked about in a different video I recently released too, what is this business loan strategy per se? So again, you can earn 2% on all fundings when you get funding. Let's say, for example, you have a trucking business or maybe a construction. It could be any business. It's not limited. Unless you're restricted, you're very high risk, and we're not going to lend to that industry unless you meet a certain revenue, or even with the certain revenue that you meet, you won't qualify. And I'm going to get into some of these things and why you shouldn't apply anywhere and everywhere. But let's say you are a trucking business owner who gets their funding of, let's say, $50,000. It can be any amount. I'm just throwing a number out. And you have a network of people, business owners, who would like to get funding as well. And because you got funding through me, by the way, I work with the best lenders and underwriters out there. There's a reason why I always compete, and we can usually beat everybody. Not every lender or organization is created equally. And when you come to me, you're in a safe haven. Would you rather go to somebody who doesn't explain it to you well enough, or misses something out, or just doesn't want to give it to you and tries to bait and switch you just to get you into the application for their benefit? Or would you rather go to somebody who actually cares about you first, as a human, as a person, get to know you a little bit? You don't have to open up much. I'm an introvert. It's difficult. And for me to trust people as well. So when that presents itself, I would jump on top of that. I wish I had a broker. I wish I had somebody who could consult with me, who can actually show me the process, and I'll get into that in a second. But yes, you can earn 2% on all funding. So your trucking business, you get $50,000. You refer Joe or Sally who owns a construction business. It doesn't have to be in the same space. They could be in the retail, health, technology, manufacturing. The list goes on, right? And so when they come and get funding, and you can share with them a link yourself or a referral code, however we set that up. If we move things along, it might be different. And when they apply through you, you can earn 2% on what they earn. So $100,000, you get 2% of that. It could be $50,000, you earn 2% of that, 20,000, however big or small it is. The point is not always the number, but always understanding that you're helping somebody else out. So there is nothing out there like this. It's very exclusive to what I have in my partnerships. And if that's something you are interested in, not just only getting funding, you don't have to even participate in this. You can just say, hey, I'm going to get funding. I saw that, or I didn't. It doesn't really interest me. Or, hey, I'll take time out of my schedule, my busy schedule, by the way, I know how it is, and I'm going to just refer somebody. I'll send them an email. But say it and doing it are two different things. So be the person who says and will do it. Don't just say something and not commit. Set a time to do things. You're a business owner. Entrepreneurs like myself, we are very diligent, punctual, and disciplined. If I say I'm going to do something, I usually say I'm going to do it at a certain time, at a certain place, and I get it done. If something comes up, I don't make an excuse. I have to readjust. Okay, I'm going to fit it into my schedule. I'm going to let the person know, or I'm going to just say, hey, I'm going to do it at this time, and I'm going to get it done. Here's the reason why that happened. Boom. Simple. But you can earn, again, 2% on all fundings. This is an exclusive partnership. I released a little bit of content on this in the past already, and you can earn that amount and then use it to pay off the existing balance, if I didn't say that already, on what you have. So it could be paid down much faster and much cheaper. So you say you want to pay something off, now you have that cash on hand, or we call it credit or cash on hand, however you want to see it. And then you can pay off the remaining balance that you have and pay it off much faster at a much cheaper price. If that's something that does interest you. I have people right now who are looking at renewing, people who are looking at early paying their advance or their loan off. They're getting maybe 25% discounts, 20, 15, whatever the amount is, 30%. It could depend on the client. And they're coming back to get more of a renewal in time and more, keep doing that over and over. So I have my document opened up here just in case I didn't want to miss anything. So I said 2% on all fundings. And then you can get 1% on all employee retention credits referrals that you bring people in the door. But yeah, I pretty much covered this. I don't want to get into the extra details, but you'll get a link or a referral code that will be given to you. You might be given a website to refer people to, and from there you can go ahead and be credited to that. And let's see if I missed anything here. Yeah, got that. The ID number part. So business owners as yourself and those who you refer who participate will receive funds deposited to your bank account or bank accounts, along with the directions on how you can use those funds to pay down the balance with your specific provider/lender you were given, if you choose. With this program, you can even earn even more than what you owe, which is a good advantage. So I'm going to go away from this program. It is, again, exclusive. Not everybody else out there has it. I work with the best lenders, underwriters. You've probably seen some of those lenders appearing on commercials. And here's what I want to say to that. It's very important you guys understand, not just to go and apply to a direct lender or whatever you think is right, like an online marketplace or this brokerage. Not each and every one of them are created equal. I've known that. I've actually operated underneath these as well as a broker or in a different position, in a different role. And I know how they can work internally and externally. And so I had to take time to vet to see who was the best out there, who I could work with. Would it be better to partner up with these direct lenders versus those? So I have those direct lender partnerships. And then I also have those, what you would call indirect, but I already have a relationship with those lenders already anyways. But it's better to do it in a brokerage setup. And again, I vetted what the best is out there in this exclusive partnership, along with getting you the best. And if you just find somebody online, it's kind of bad. And I didn't know this. I wouldn't know this if I wasn't in this position now. But knowing what I know now, you can't just find a lender and say, I'm going to go and apply when they won't accept you. You might go to a lender that's an A-tier lender thinking you are that, but you're a B tier or a C or a D tier. Or even if you're an A-tier client with the best funding details, you can have the best credit, time in business, revenue, etc. But you still go to that A-tier lender and they disapprove you. And you might not know why. They don't give you the extent of that reason. They can't always provide you that. But because you didn't go through a broker/agent, somebody who can actually understand those people better, who actually has direct communication with them, you wouldn't have known. So when you partner with me, you'll have more information on underwriting, as much as I can give you. You'll have the understanding of how it all works, the process. So when people go to, like, I'm not going to say the names of those companies. I don't want to be in that. I want to say the word get in trouble, but I don't want to get into that part and have a complaint later about it. But it really wouldn't happen. But the thing is, when you go to those A-tier lenders, B-tier, whatever it is, they only approve maybe 1 in every 20, 1 in every 30 if you go to them directly. Now, if you were to come to us, yeah, we'll see, okay, we can pull from them, but they're not actually the one we want to go with. we have this other A tier or this other A tier or this other one, but we won't hurt your credit. So I'm going to go out there, myself, my team, we're going to entertain the other ones, and we're going to say, this one doesn't work. We didn't really want to look at them for that case. We wanted to bring this one in. And now that one's more enticing. And what ends up happening is you get more funding. This one probably would have only offered you 150. Now you're getting 250 or 200,000. And you're getting multiple options as opposed to just one or two. And better rates, better terms, better early payment discounts, more flexibility, early payoff, all that like I just mentioned. And add-on funds, perhaps a better relationship with the lender, myself, the team. And you don't always get that by just going somewhere else. So my strategy, now let's go back into this new business loan strategy per se. We already talked about the 2%. That was the majority of it. You guys can earn on. When you earn, refer somebody else, they can get a funding. Now, my processes, and I won't go into depth on this, I'm going to close up shop here. So I have about a 3-step process that I take with people. And if you don't like this, if you don't correspond to this, the thing is, you have to understand that what you do traditionally is not the same what we're doing online. So I have to be very protective of my energy and time, just to let you know why I'm bringing this up. And you can only imagine how many clients come to me. Like literally, if I go through my inbox today and it's a Friday, I get loads. Those who land in the spam box will move over to the primary, promotions tab, social tab, anywhere else in different emails. I have a lot. And I pay close attention to each and every one of you with care, the right human, personal aspect and touch, with the right attitude and the right effort, what I can control, attitude and effort. And so you can only, again, imagine how many people come to me. And if I'm taking inbound calls, outbound calls, for one, I'm an introvert. Do I want to be on this? No, I don't. I traditionally don't like saying, let's set up an appointment at this time. And I will do that at times if it makes most sense to, but there's a reason why my processes are most effective than the majority of people who do this in this field. And so here's how it works. So step 1, you fill out the questionnaire form on my site. And if you're watching this on YouTube, bio, TikTok, Instagram, etc. You click that first link. It might bring you to a link tree to begin with, or it might bring you directly to the questionnaire. Once you click that business loan form, there's also the real estate form and a few others. You click that form, you'll be presented with 2 options. Are you a startup or a non-startup? Select which either one applies to you. Read it, click it, then you'll see the questionnaire. Most likely that's the setup, or it may change over time, but that's what it is right now as the time I've been making this and producing this. It should take you no longer than 30 seconds, a minute, if anything, max. Sometimes maybe a little bit more, but be thorough with it. You can give me some estimates on what I asked for, but I set it up in the sense that the more information you provide, the better. And I'll leave an additional note section. So if you need to supply anything, hey, Michael, I can't get the call with you, but hey, I put it in the additional note section, what I'm trying to do. Be elaborate. When I ask you, do you have an existing business loan or an advance? Don't just say yes. If it's not idle, you might not put anything more. But if it isn't idle, you go, yes, I have an advance for $25,000. You can even give me the lender. You don't have to be that open if you don't want. 25 would help. 25,000 at a rate with terms like this. I have 2 positions, 25,000 remaining, or 50,000 total balance remaining on all 2 or 3, whatever that is. But be as precise, because when I know how much you've paid off or how much you still have remaining, that'll tell me how much you can actually get approved for. Now, if you don't have an existing advance or a term loan, etc., then that levels the playing field. And that gives me a better understanding that you don't have any positions open. But don't be also doing this. I have had to shut down somebody the other day who was looking for a personal/startup loan. And they were pushing their information to other parties. And they had another broker come in. So being who we are and we have a strong reputation, we're not always going to say, hey, we're going to beat that person. But we will say, and it's a specific service. It's not always all of them. So don't get that wrong. We'll say, hey, we're not going to work with that individual. I mean, they may have a crisper file, but our reputation is on the line too. And if we just told them that, yeah, come on in, they're likely going to say, hey, I'm going to take funding here. Not just comparing, but hey, they might take funding here and then take funding over there. You don't want to double dip that way with any kind of funding service. Be very careful you guys do that. Give it a wait period. Let's say you get a personal loan. Maybe you'll be able to get that MCA or that cash advance term loan right there then after. or you'll have to wait a certain time, maybe a month or 2 or 3 for your DTI to come down, so then you get in a better approval odds of going over there to the other place. And then you can use what you got approved over here to pay off this balance as well. Or if we have to look at consolidating renewals, refinancing, what is that existing business debt? Is it personal debt used for business, or however we look at it? But it varies in many aspects. So that's my first step. Fill out that questionnaire form. Boom, boom, boom. Be thorough. It lands in my email. I'll evaluate, analyze it, and I'm a broker. I'm not a guy who just is over here information marketing. I have to do it for myself right now. But you guys really don't see what's happening on my side. I really can't see what you're doing in operations and finances and product marketing, etc. Maybe if I do go in one day, and I fully do because I've worked underneath a lot of industries. When I used to work 9 to 5, I worked different roles. I'll probably speak on that at the end, and I know I was going to close up shop here because I'm trying to recover from my dental implant. And I'm doing a lot better. I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. And it's not giving me pain, it's not aggravating me, but I'll be relaxing for the rest of the day. And so no phone calls right now for maybe the next 3 to 4, 5 plus days as well. And so with that, you fill out the questionnaire form, email, inbox, evaluate, analyze. Proper response back, step 2 from me is to then send you a response back via email on your best funding option and options. Thoroughly broken down from the intro all the way to the conclusion. No joke. This is going to be the best thing you guys ever look at. I'm working right now on creating like a back office and a portal so I can give you guys more. That'll probably not happen soon, but in the foreseeable future, hopefully we get to that. And so when you get this email, it's going to be big, but don't get overwhelmed. People to this day still ask me, what option should I start with? Well, I told you where you should start. That tells me you did not read the email. That tells me you just looked at the email and you just skimmed through it like you would on a blog post. Like you're not taking the time to read it. Take it like it's a contract. It's not a contract. Take that like it's your life. It's do or die. And that's how we think as entrepreneurs. I don't know as a business owner if you think that way, but as an entrepreneur / business owner myself, I have other businesses. I think today as do or die. If I were not to complete this activity, I'm dying today. If I didn't get out to this person because they needed this right then and there, I'm going to die today. And literally, I take that as not even being a joke. Like you guys don't live for tomorrow, live for today. Why separate what you can do today for tomorrow or the next week? Don't do that. And be considerate. Don't be rude. So my next step here would be to send you that email. I customize it. It's very personalized and customized to you. It's not the same for everybody. I'll have an intro. I'll listen to what you were saying on that questionnaire. If there's anything more, I'll ask it from you. But I'll send it in that big email. It'll be separated by green headlines, the different options. And then the first option, the first couple usually are the best. You might only qualify for one or multiple, but I'll show you in that order. I'll say, hey, this is the best one. And I'll give you the information about it, the details, what it entails, the information, of course, all that is the same thing. Qualifications, requirements, the steps to it, how you can qualify, not qualify, as I mentioned, the docs that will be needed, how I'll ask for them, if there's flexibility or not, the application. And in the application, you literally can get started from that email. All objections will be cleared once you see that email. There might be 1 or 2 things I missed, or you might say, hey, Michael, can I just quickly call you? You might want to hear my voice just to make sure. I have people tell me that. I just wanted to hear your voice to make sure it's you. But those people don't even, there's people who do that, and I'm like, great. But where were you? You just disappeared. Hey, Michael, I can send you the application and documents here soon. Actually, today, if you put a time on it, it's okay. But follow through. And then you go, I'm serious. And then a month passes by. I'm like, I don't want to say his name, but I'm like the guy right here who's just like sitting on the bench, just hands behind his back. Just all I asked for were 3 months of bank statements, a copy of the driver's license, and the voided check. And all I asked for was feedback. It proves to me that they're not worthy enough to even be reliable, to be trustworthy. I had a person the other day who answered a call, and I introduced who I was, and they knew who was calling by that point. And I asked them, have they seen the questionnaire that I sent them? And I said, it's okay if you didn't, because as a business owner myself, I get busy, you get busy. But did you know that I was a business owner? Did you know that I actually am an entrepreneur? Did you know that I actually have multiple businesses? Probably not yet. At a point, you'll know that, and you'll learn to respect that and say, oh, this guy's not joking around. And so they said themselves, said this. Yeah, that's rude. I let them go on for a couple of seconds. Then I came back and I said, because of their situation, yeah, partially, the full extent of it, they didn't say if they were busy or doing this. They didn't get into that. I can only assume there could be other reasons, but they said it themselves. Yeah, that's rude, isn't it? And I'm going to go, yeah, it could be fully, yeah, partially, yeah. It looks like that. And it doesn't look good on you because it shows me you're not responsible and accountable, and it comes down to your character. Fundamentally, at the foundational level, you haven't built yourself up enough on a personal development level / skill. I have had to work on myself for years. And not that I was bad or anything, but like in business as an entrepreneur, you got to work on yourself. And that's also going to be a good reflection of how you operate in your business, in your personal life. What you do here is also a self-reflection. I can only imagine if you're treating me like this and my team, I can only imagine how things are in your business or perhaps on your personal life. And I don't want to get into all of that. I'm not saying you're a bad person. It's just, I don't want to get into the whole sin thing because that can create more things. I don't want to get into the religious aspects and where all of this comes from. But understanding that at the foundational level, it's working on ourselves. Back on track. So I'll give you that response back via email, your best funding options, at the end, conclusion, and a roadmap. You can look at the conclusion and roadmap. You may have to open it up in a new tab because it's so long, but it's well worth it. Trust me. You're going to see everything you can and can't qualify for. So you're not like, I should go get that SBA loan. This Michael guy didn't tell me about the 7A loan, or he didn't tell me about the 504 loan, or he didn't tell me about this program that I heard about. Well, I'm going to clear up all the things you need to understand about each service so you're not questioning it. And you'll always be able to reflect back to that email, even if I'll give you ballpark numbers as well, but what if those numbers change? We might be able to look at it again. Or you can refer back to that email and say, hey, if the numbers were to be like this, he's saying that I can get this amount. Okay, now I know what to do and I can get started from there. He broke it down for me. Great. So then you can get started. The third step is just getting into the application, how we are going to ask for the docs and all that. It'll be in that email. And then, and then I'll present to you feedback. My underwriters will come to me, my lenders. We're all in network, we're communicating, and then I'll come back to you after everything has been done, collect the docs, however I collect those docs, send them over after I've reviewed them myself, of course, as I pre-underwrite files myself. I know the eyes of an underwriter and the lender very well for each lender. And then I'll take that over to the right one. We can be enticing one or two. You want to get multiple options without hurting your credit, by the way. This is not going to do that. You guys go to other online marketplaces. This is not an online marketplace per se. This is exclusive setup. And there are lenders out there that you wouldn't even have known of if you didn't do this. So if you were to go somewhere else, be very careful. People that are nickel and diming you, over promising and under delivering. So that's really the 3-step process. You guys kind of got to see why I do it the way I do for energy and time. I can't always be on this, and it's not always best used of my energy and time. Even if I know the person strong enough, sometimes I'll answer, like on a personal and business level, like I'll take time, even personal time, I've done that, but I get busy. I can't just always do that. And right now, because of this, and I'm feeling better, like I said, but I'm going to be getting going here in a second. Just understand, again, the 3-step process. Questionnaire, evaluate, analyze, response comes back. Email. So I do a lot in email. And again, people want my time on this. It has to be earned. When people get me on this, it's because you've seen the questionnaire. I want you to see that questionnaire. And if you have any doubt, if you need any kind of clarity, maybe there's a little bit of an explanation you have to give me on something that you couldn't have put on a form, but everything you could do that. It's confidential between you and I don't judge. Or maybe it's a little bit more on your project or projects you have going on. But that could have been said there. Take a little bit of time to write it, because you're going to see it reflect. When you get that back, you're going to say, holy crap, he wasn't kidding about that email. Now I know why he does it the way he does it, because processes, systems, and automation mean everything. They mean the world to me. They should mean that for you. You guys should be looking at reverse engineering your business, like automating it as much as you can, thinking about how you can get more of your time and energy back. You can position somebody else to do that role. Of course, you can train them if it's your own skill. They may not be ever better than you. They might overpass you, or they might have already been better than you at that skill anyways. So you have them taking care of that. Or you have some kind of a system, a chatbot, something operating on the back end while you're not there. And then somebody else can come in. You think about the systems that govern those automations and what you set up with like email software, CRMs, websites, your Facebook page. Like people think to this day that I shouldn't have a website. What do you mean? It's just a Facebook is the way to go? That's not the way. You got to tweak your thinking. When you come to my world, and I have a digital marketing strategist background as well. I began with a digital marketing agency, affiliate marketing businesses, and I still have those till this day. And so in this world, you guys have to understand that while people may connect with you on Facebook, did you ever think about your website being a momentary or a meantime where they can go check your products and services, where they can learn more about you, they can interact differently with your Autobot sequence if it wasn't already through Facebook or in a different way, or they go to a landing page where they can opt in, you can collect their information, and then follow up with them over and over. The list goes on and on. They want to see a professional presence. They don't just want to see a Facebook profile. They want to know everything about you. And an About Me page will be most effectively used if you guys had a website. And that's, again, me reverse engineering, not even thinking about SEO, not even thinking about blogging and creating that for your business and advertising and putting things on video, perhaps. If that's not your thing, you build up to it. That's what I did. Blogging is my primary thing, and I love doing that. I got really good at it, and I am still at that. And sometimes I have to go through video because I know it creates the most value sometimes. And it's what is effective as well. So I guess that's where I want to leave it at, guys. Anybody have any questions? I should have ended this earlier. Again, no phone calls right now because of this. I don't want it to be throbbing. It's not doing that. But for a dental implant that I had done the other day. And so I've been doing well. I said I wasn't going to do anything like this, and it's been a few days, which is good. So I gave it time. It's not like I did it right away. But yeah, I'm going to still be recovering from that, and hopefully I can do more of this with better energy and time. So while you guys are thinking maybe of a question, I'll leave it for about 30 seconds and say again, just to recap what I spoke about. The 3 steps, but the new business funding strategy or new business loan strategy up to 2 million, 5 million, 10 million and beyond is through getting that 2% on all fundings. For you referring someone after you get funded, spread the word. Share it with someone. And not just share with them the program. Be like, hey, this Michael guy, he really did help me get funding. And he didn't just help me get funding. If you could just see what this guy was showing me, like why I'm getting approved and why I'm not getting approved, and what he shouldn't be doing, oh, that goes far beyond any kind of funding amount you receive. Wouldn't you think so? If you had somebody in your corner who was going round for round with you, you were probably WWE, tag me in, let me go in and help you. I would go to war with that person any day. And they were trustworthy and reliable. They weren't fake. They're a humble person. They're respectful. I'd like to think so. People say that about me. I'm a Libra. And my younger brother is a Gemini. He's very trustworthy and reliable. But you know how, if you know Geminis, you know Geminis. Loving, but I'm not going to say the word arrogance. But to me, I'm a very meticulous, cerebral person, and I love creating systems. Math is my subject, systems, but as a broker as well, and understanding you as a person, you're not a machine to me. I like to I'm a listener more than a speaker. I've had people on a call just talk, and I go, okay, I'll let them talk. And then they go, are you still there? And I'm like, I was just listening very well. Now, whether you do that or not, I'm listening very well. I'm taking in each and every word. I'm not fumbling it. I'm literally right here listening to every word, whether it's an email, a text, a phone call, with care. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, I know what they want. I know what they're trying to do. People tell me things in their personal life that they would have never have said. But because they have that comfort with me and that confidentiality and that trust that I won't hurt anybody. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to do my business. I'm here to care about someone. And what I mean by business is that, care about somebody, and the implicit of it being, or the byproduct of perhaps earning something, but I don't look at it as the number. I look at it as the impact I made on someone. And again, to take that to another level is if I can help somebody change themselves by just reading a book. My favorite book right here, by the way, Atomic Habits. I've done what I needed. I've read that book like 20 times. I'm not even joking, from front to back, because it is like, quote unquote, the book to read, like the Bible, I guess I'll say that. And it is the book that I refer back to certain sections because I know the impact, and I know what that'll help me for in the day. Up here, I read marketing books, I read business books, personal development books. I'm in masterminds. I've gone out to events before. I don't do it really much anymore unless it's online. I'm more of that person, but I'm always picking myself up and learning something new because that'll help me develop as a person, and then I won't be rude. People think that just because you don't give me an answer or feedback, that should say that I'm not interested. It might say that, it might say something else, but how can I assume that? What I'm assuming is that you may not be a person that you could be trusted. It tells me you're not a person that's accountable and responsible, or perhaps has learned those concepts. So it takes a bit of time to learn these things, guys. I'm not saying you got to learn it or be up to that standard that I have. If you surpass it, good, do that. But what I'm saying is come to the table with something, and that's why I have my processes the way they are. I could do it over I used to do that, but not heavily. I learned really quick like that. No. And then I find out that those people I don't even know where they went, or they just were seeking information, which is fine, but I'm like, I'm not going to be doing that. And after everything that I'd given them, they still went somewhere else, and we got them the best. I'm like, what are they trying to do? Commingle funds or something they're not telling us? And now I just was so exhausted. If I look back on that process and I go, wow, ugh, yucky. This is why I don't want to do that. And I'm not like anybody and everybody, guys. Like, people may think, if you haven't perceived me yet and know me yet, you might think I'm just another person trying to get you a loan. That's very wrong. And that's way outside of that. And I treat people like they're my own family and friends. We're not probably blood related, but we're right here. And we're not going to treat each other like whatever. That's not what it is. So, no questions or anything. Okay, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go and do some more things here on the computer, rest up a bit, and enjoy my afternoon. It's still 10:34 here Pacific Standard Time in Washington. And look in the description for all information, bio, refer to that. Have a great rest of your Friday and weekend, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Talk soon.